Hey guys, TheMtVernonKid here, back again. How's everybody doing? And today we are answering your questions that I posted. So I posted a poll on my community feed, and basically I asked you guys post 4 questions as always, but with a twist. This time, one question had to be dedicated video game related. So I wanted to twist it up a little bit. We are in the final day of March 31st. And as always, like I said before, guys, I usually will do this. I will do a live stream, and then I'll also do another Q&A type, answering more questions. I love answering your questions. It's fun. It's me interacting with you and engaging you, and I enjoy it. So let's get right to the questions. If you don't like the questions, sorry, you were supposed to bring some questions. If you don't like the response, then get the hell out of here. Where did that come from? Okay, I don't know where that was, but anyway, let's take out the old trusty phone. Let's make sure it's unlocked. Okay, here we go. On my community feed right here, and let's see, what we're gonna do is we'll go newest comments to latest comments. So I'll do the newest one first, and then do the last one. Now, once again, like I said before, you were to ask 4 questions, and then the last question was supposed to be video game related. Let's do it. Here we go. So we're gonna start off with Tack Jr. or am I Jr. or Tack Jr. I guess. And his question, he has 4 questions, and the first question is thoughts so far on Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay, so thoughts on the show so far. I'm loving it. Loving it very much. The pacing of it is really good. Last episode really was. That was if I was basically scoring from episode 1 and 2. Episode 2 would be over episode 1. It was really good. They're really going deep into the show. They're not pulling anything. I'm glad that Disney is allowing them to tap into a lot of the things that they are tapping into, social economics, from gender-based to ethnicity backgrounds. You know, they are really touching on what is going on currently in the world today. Last episode really touched on that when, spoiler alert if nobody's seen it, but after they did go see Isaiah Bradley, Falcon, Sam and Bucky are kind of arguing outside, and 2 cops pull up, and then another cop, and they come out, and they basically racially profiled. They went over to Bucky. He was like, "Sir, is he bothering you?" And Sam's like, "What the? We're talking." Like, it was like, clearly they are showcasing that even in this fictional superhero world, this stuff still happens, and I'm kind of glad that they're doing it. But I'm loving Falcon and Winter Soldier very much. We only got 4 more episodes left, and yeah, it's getting good. So your next question is, are there any upcoming horror movies you can't wait to see? I do like horror. I can't wait to see the next Halloween. That's definitely on my list. Whenever Antlers come out, I still want to see that movie. For those who don't know what Antlers is, it's the next produced Benicio del Toro produced movie, where it's basically about the Wendigo. They're really going deep in the Wendigo. There's a couple of movies that are not theatrical releases that actually kind of interest me. in terms of horror. A lot of them are dealing with werewolves. You guys know me; I'm a big werewolf fan. I'm loving seeing the werewolf uprising now in movies. So, and there's this other movie called the Bigfoot versus Wendigo, which is it looks cheesy, but it actually had me interested. I'm like, okay, but yeah, those are definitely two. Your next question. I'm a novice. Excuse me. Wait, hold on. Where was I? Oh, okay. You once said that if we could come to you if you need help with comics. I'm a novice to Iron Fist. Where should I start? I did say that. I remember actually saying that in a live open mic Q&A. Yeah, if you ever guys need help, like you want to get into a character but you don't know where to start, yeah, I'm glad to give my help in that. With with Iron Fist, it's a little tricky because he does have a long history, but a lot of his comics are not solo books. A lot of his books are are team books. Hence, Power Man and Iron Fist. That was probably his longest run. That was him and Luke Cage, which did really well. His first solo run didn't last too long. Chris Claremont wrote a lot of issues on there, and Marvel does have like these big, thick collections, so you can read those. But if anything, I always tell people who want to get into Iron Fist, just read the Ed Brubaker run, Immortal Iron Fist. That will give you everything you need to understand who this character is, what Danny ran, what is his personality, what does he fight for, things like that. So definitely go read the Immortal Iron Fist and take it from there. You'll get it quick. That's my advice to you. And your fourth question, which is supposed to be a video game related question, and the question is, are you going to stream more gameplay uh, on your gaming channel? I missed those. Yeah, I have I have kind of kind of dropped off of that, and I need to get back on that. Like I know people like when I do this when I stream like Overwatch and things like that. There are a few games that I have not played that I had specifically bought to stream. So I will get back on that. I've told people who are uh, subscribed to my gaming channel, yeah, you will see that again. I have put up some new stuff, some new content on there, some new video game trailers and things like that. But I will. I'm gonna get back on those. So next question. But thank you, Tack Jr. Forgot to ask that. Sorry. Next question. Tony Montana says, seeing how the audience and critics react positively to the Snyder Cut, are you gonna give it a shot and watch it? No, I really don't care. I really don't care. I don't care at all about it. What I've heard is enough for me to like. Okay. Um, to me, it's nice, but then it's like, in a sense, is to me, it's just like, okay, that's good, but my issue with it now is one of my biggest fear, and it's come true. Now everybody keeps up, hey, give this a cut, give this a cut, this a cut, and it's like they're just some bad movies, and no matter the reason why this happened was because why? Because Snyder had to drop out because of his daughter, okay, and then hence what happened next. But one thing I've heard from people have said this does no good favors for Wonder Woman. Like if you liked what Patty Jenkins was doing with her, clearly it's like a different character altogether, and I don't like that. I don't like that because I have loved what Patty Jenkins has done with that character. And if I do watch it, it'll be on my own time if I feel like it, and I have no clues of wits of going to watch it. Um, Between Nightmare Mephisto and Baron Mordo, which one do you hope? Which one do you hope will put in will be put into the Doctor Strange sequel. Well, Baron Mordo's coming back. Uh, Chiwetel Ejiofor is back. Baron Mordo is going to be back in that, and I've heard that Nightmare is supposed to be in it as well. I mean, it's called the Multiverse of Madness, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nightmare is going to be in it. And we're also going to get America Chavez, Miss America in there. Wanda's coming back with all new tricks, and so yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a hell of a ride. Seeing how Snyder fans are retweeting their hashtag, do you think it could impact the reception of future DC installments like Black Adam, Suicide Squad, the Batman, and the untitled Superman movie? No, I don't. Once again, this is, like I said before, this was one of the biggest fears I had, was like, okay, so yes, the Snyder cut to most people were good, but I've heard a lot of people say I didn't really like it, and then you got people hammering on them. That's gonna happen, but I don't think that's gonna have any kind of effects on the gold for these other movies. It shouldn't. Why should it? Just saying. Okay. People complain that Gotham Knights, we won't be able to play Batman when we had him for 4 games in the Arkhamverse. Do you think this game can help people get interested in the Bat family? I don't understand why it shouldn't. Yeah, like I kind of question that one, because there's a lot of people that are fine with the Bat family, and I'm glad that this game they're taking this time with this game. This is not being rushed like a certain game that came out and rushed. To me, these developers and all this, they need to take their time. Like, there's no need to rush these games. They want it to be as perfect as they can. I'm looking forward to Arkham Knight. I'm glad that supposedly Batman's not it. I say that because my guess is he ain't dead, but I think it's more of a. I have my theories on it. Maybe it was more of a test to see how safe would Gotham be if he did die, by giving it to the rest of the Bat family. That was one of my biggest complaints with the Arkham games, is like, yeah, we can't really truly play with the other characters in story mode, but they got these quests, these side stories, and it's good, but it's just like you want it more. Look, the last Batman game had all these different side quests, Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing. It was good, but it was just like, I wanted to play more with Nightwing. So, okay. Next on the list is Marion McDaniels, and he says, who do you think has caused more property damage, the Three Stooges or Steve Urkel? I didn't never think to hear that together. That's a kind of a weird question, but I'll go Three Stooges. They've had a longer tenure in history, so I can't remember if I've asked you this question of like, but what was your reaction when Batman punched Jim Gordon in Tom King's run on Batman? I remember. I didn't feel anything, 'cause I felt like this was just used as shock value. I was like, really? It's like, really? He punched Jim Gordon? Why? What was the purpose of that? I felt it was just shock value. That's all. And now Jim is not the commissioner anymore. He's now like a freelance detective, freelance private investigator. Like, it's just weird. It's like they're doing all this stuff with Batman now, And to me, a little bit of a thing I think is just a little too late. For example, the whole Batman loses his whole fortune. I'm like, wait, what? What? Why? Like this hasn't been done. Nobody's ever thought about this for 80 something years before. So now all of a sudden now you want to do it now. It's kind of stupid. I don't like that either. Have you ever watched Amphibia? And if you do, have you? Well, I love Amphibia. Um, I love Amphibia. I love what's the show? With Loose and the Owl House. I love the Owl House. A lot of, like I said, Disney has come back strong with some good original animation, and I'm really liking that. Um, like I said, Amphibia is really good. Anytime it come on, I watch it, even if I've seen the episode again. I think a lot of people forget that the actress who's playing the voice of the main human, that's actually a Brenda song. So it's like no matter how far she tries to get away from Disney, she comes back. She hasn't forgotten her roots, so she'll come back and work with them. I respect that, especially when you see a lot of Disney stars, kind of hit a high and then they hit a low by doing some just really losing it in a sense. Fourth question. If I'm not sure if there are any, but out of all the killers that have been introduced in Dead by Daylight, which one would you say is the most tragic out of all of them, and why? That would be Margaret. Huh? The spirit. Yeah. If you read her origin, it's just like Jesus. Um, I'm liking that we're starting to see a little bit more original characters instead of just horror icons. I'm not saying I wouldn't want another horror icon in it, but I'm glad to see that they've kind of gone back to the original characters. But I'm also very interested in the fact that they're still putting out new content. You know, you for, and the fact also is that this game is really huge. Like you see a lot of different streamers go on like besides YouTube, you can go on other video game streaming sites and you see it's just like a whole like category just for Dead by Daylight. So I am glad that there are more original character killers coming out and not just horror icons. I still feel that they should make a deal with I, it'd be weird, but I still think Chucky. It'd be cool to see Chucky in there. It'd be weird to see how he would be able to like. I think it'd be just he just drags you, and then somehow he just throws you up there because um, it would be weird to see like this little dog just put you on his shoulders and then he walks with you and things like that. So yeah, maybe just grab. I mean, because we've seen Chucky drag people, and you forget like okay, he's just a dog, but he can drag. Um, so yeah, that was Dan's last question. Next questions come from uh, Darius Brown the third. Okay, and he's got a. I respect that image, dude. You got a Bill Moore. Yeah, I like that. I want that show on Disney Plus. I don't know why they haven't put that show on Disney Plus yet. Someone told me it's like some kind of loss between another. It is weird. Does Rhea Ripley deserve a title shot? Uh, Me and my brother talked about this before, and you know, the fact of the matter is WWE has not built up anybody else legitimately to face Asuka. The division for Raw is in shambles, and with exactly. So her getting a shot, it's like, well, it's like, oh, well, we don't have anybody. Because why? Because you haven't built anybody. And and you lost your golden girl, and so her getting this title shot. I understand where and I've seen comments like, this is uncool, this is not fair, like, why does she get the shot and nobody else? And who else has been who else has been built? Like, they had an opportunity to do that with Shayna Baszler, and they blew it. She's now basically stuck, and I literally used that. Or let me even use it more. She is basically what is going on now in the pandemic now. Like, she's legitimately almost exiled to be with. It's just weird. It's like she's stuck with just being in a makeshift tag team where that division is just completely. Yeah, exactly. You see, so it's like it's
not even real.
Yeah.
She should have been on Raw since after the Rumble. It's that simple. I don't understand why you have Bianca. Well, Bianca's on the roster, but it's weird that you have the runner-up be nowhere to be found.
Yeah. So
Rhea was the runner-up. It clearly was showing signs of almost like John Cena and he's like, okay, these are the next people, and Rhea was nowhere to be found.
So yeah, like there's things like that. Like they really just.
What type of reign Oslo Rhea can even have after it's over?
And even you just look at it from that point of view. But does she deserve it? No. Why she's getting it? Well, look at it. You can just look it for yourself. Who's one of your favorite YouTubers? Dashie. That's easy. Dashie is definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. I love Dashie. I can watch his videos over and all night, all day. There was even a time where Thursday became like Dashie night. I have a playlist called Nonstop Dashie with his skits and a lot of his his gameplays, and I just sit there watching. No matter how many times I've seen these videos, I just crack up laughing. He makes me laugh. And the thing about it also, and I blame myself for this, is as much as I love the dude, I have not supported him in like buying like stuff, his merch and stuff, and that's something I promised myself to do, is buy like my favorite YouTubers merch and things. So like from Dashie to Clayton Thomas to Simon Miller, I've seen a couple of his merches that I definitely would get. Dead Meat with James Avenese. Tyrone Magnus. There's a couple of shirts that I seen Tyrone have that I would definitely, and that's why I started my merch stores. Like I always tell people, like, check out some of my merch, and I do have to design some more shirts, definitely, because it's spring coming, and summertime's coming, so new shirts are coming out, so definitely want to get back on that ball. Promise myself to start designing new things with some freelancers that can make things for me, so I can put on shirts and things like that. So yeah, but yeah, Dashie definitely is one of them. If you had to pick, you said Hawk, but I think you meant pick between Velma or Daphne. Who? Velma. I've always I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan in general, but I've always had a thing for Velma. I like smart girls, and I don't just. I'm not saying that Daphne isn't smart, but I've always just enjoyed Velma more. Like she's the one that's always coming up with the ideas, almost like she's the one that almost take charge. They always Freddy's the always the one. Well, gang, we got a mystery to solve. And yeah, that's cool, but it is mostly Daphne when it comes up to the plan to catch. It always comes up to Velma when it's time to catch the monster. It's usually sometimes Daphne's Velma's brains with Fred's ingenuity, pretty much. But yeah, Velma definitely. Have you played Apex Legend? This is your video game question. I had downloaded it on my PS4, and I tried it. Guys, and it's just not for me. Um, I do. First of all, I won't say. I'll say this. I love the intro music. I love that first theme that I actually downloaded on my iTunes. That intro theme. I love that. I do love when you shoot off and you jettison down and it's still playing the music. I like that. But, however, there's too much downtime. Too much downtime just trying to get around this map, and then out of nowhere, blah, 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 you get shot. And you're like, wait, where'd that come from? And then they'll come in. It's too much downtime for me. And I like if I'm gonna do a multiplayer thing like that, just get right into it. It does feel like it has a little bit of Fortnite value, but I won't say anything truly bad about it because it is a free game. But for me, it wasn't just for me, and that's not me. Malcolm tried it; it just wasn't for him. It's just not for me. Outside of the music, that's all. And don't get me wrong, a good soundtrack for a game is good. Um, so let's move on. Next question comes from Ehil In. Do you think the Ghost of Tsushima live action will be good? Yeah, they are making a Ghost of Tsushima live action movie. I kind of question a little bit. I'm like, does it really need one? Because the whole game was basically a movie. And I haven't even finished it, but it's good storytelling. I know it's going to be by the same people that did John Wick, so yeah, we're going to expect probably some straight up gore and everything like that. But I not saying that it will fail, but I just feel like it's not really needed. To me, it was a successful game, completely successful, commercially and financially, so much that the people who created are now the ambassadors of the real island. That's crazy. Like they are the ambassadors of the real island of Tsushima. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. But that's how good that game, how commercially successful that game was. And whenever that sequel comes out, I know there's going to be a sequel, but it'll probably be out for the PS5. But that just shows you how much that game meant to the people who created Sucker Punch, all that. So yeah, it's like, why not? You know. Berserker live action anime. Your thoughts? Berserk. Are you talking about basically the Keanu Reeves comic? Yeah, I mean they already announced like this uh, Netflix is working on something. If it's an animated thing, that's great. I don't mind seeing more adult animated shows based off, I guess, comics. With Invincible. There was no way they could tone that series down. Because not say they couldn't, but if they did, it wouldn't be Robert Kirkman's baby. That's his baby. Outside of Walking Dead, Invincible is his baby. So I'm glad to see that they went full blown praised with that show. And I still have to do my thoughts on the first 3 episodes, which I will do. But the Keanu Reeves comic, which I do have, it's too early to just throw out a comic right now. I feel it's a little too early because it's only been 1 issue. But Keanu, he loved writing it, and I'm glad that he did. So that's cool. What are your thoughts on what was the last comic book novel you were really excited to read? Last one I could definitely say was Last Ronin, Ninja Turtles Last Ronin, because I was looking forward to reading that. And when that first came out, and the first 2 issues have dropped, and man, I was like, oh man, this is really good. Yeah, it has a Batman Dark Knight feel to it, but here it's actually justified, and I'm like, okay. But I figured out who the turtle was before it even came out. And you can kind of tell that it was going to be Mikey in a sense, and I'm glad they went with Michelangelo because one, people thought, oh, it's Leonardo, or it's Raphael because of the tone of it. But I literally said, what if it's not Leo or Raph? What if it's Donnie and Mikey? And then I started eliminating Donnie for a while, and I'm like, what if it's Mikey? As soon as they did that first issue, and you see they called the turtle by his name, I was like, I knew it, but it was really good. So yeah, that's definitely one novel or a comic book that I was really excited to read, and I'm glad that it's. And besides, you also got to remember that this was actually in works for a long time from the creators. Okay, Caroline De Salvador asks, only got 2 questions for you right now, if you don't mind. I don't mind. What is your favorite element? Water, fire, earth, or air? I'll definitely go water. Because it's actually the most powerful of all of those elements. Water is stronger than earth because it can move earth or drown earth. Its power is more powerful than fire because it can douse fire, and it's even stronger than the wind. So definitely it's water. It is everything you want it to be. You want it to be soft, it can be soft. And it can be gentle. It can be fierce. And it can be very aggressive. And it is also the element that brings life. When we are born, what are we submerged in? We're not submerged in fire. We're submerged in water. Do you like Spyro the Dragon animated film? That is if you have played any of the Spyro. I played Spyro. I'm not the biggest Spyro the Dragon fan. I've played a few of his games, but never owned any. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Spyro. Thank you. Next question. Travis. Okay, these are all, most of these are all, I only needed one. I said one. Somebody did not read. I said one question. The rest don't, but that's fine. Travis, what was the point of Ryan Wilder? Who? Ryan Wilder. Who's that? I have no idea who that is. Are you excited for the Mass Effect collection? The collection that's coming on all the systems. I'm glad in a sense. Yes, I am, because I am a big Mass Effect fan. I'm glad to see that it's getting kind of like a facelift in a sense. So people who've never played that original trilogy can play it, fall in love with those characters like I did. This was a game series that I was like, nah, I don't care about this game. And so I am a member of Gamefly, so I was like, you know what? let me put this on GameFly. Put it in. I got the first game, fell in love with it. And when the second game came out, got the second one. And the third one came out, I got it. But I fell in love with those characters so much. Everything it was they became like you wanted to make sure that they were alive and well. That's how interactive that game got. That is one of the heart and soul of that game. I know there's a lot of people that tried it. I have a friend that tried it. He didn't understand the hype about it, I, and the gameplay is one thing. It's the story and these characters that get you into it. But yes, favorite characters in the Soul Calibur franchise, or just Soul Calibur, the first Soul Calibur, because I don't know. I can give you a few. I'm a huge Maxi fan. Anybody who's got like nunchucks, I'm kind of. I love Kalink. I love Taki. That's my favorite female of the Soul Calibur franchise. Um, I do like Savant, not Savant, Siegfried, the Knight. Um, like I said, you should have gave me like a number of how many, but I have a lot of characters. But Maxi is my number one favorite male of the series. Before that, if you remember the first Soul Edge game, the Maxi wasn't in it. There was another guy who had nunchucks, and his nunchucks had weapons at the bottom of it, and he was like a thief. Maxi is a pirate, but a cool pirate. He's got heart though, and he's got a beef with Astaroth. There's like blood there, beef. So definitely, those are definitely good. But yeah, and I'm glad to see Soul Calibur still around. You know, the, I didn't even pick up the last. I need to pick that because I didn't pick up the fifth one because that's when they really kind of did an overhaul and new characters and all the old characters either retired or got too old or they became like mentors. I don't mind that, but just at least show me what's going on with them. Well, that's all the questions, guys, that I had for you guys. Those are the only people that wrote questions in my community feed. Like I said, guys, like anytime when that post goes up, you know, feel free to drop some questions. Don't be scared. Like I'm gonna answer everybody's questions as much as I can. Uh, I don't know if you're not seeing the post or not. That's why I always tell people put that notification on, hit that bell, so you won't be forgetting like or not seeing. And you see a lot of people say that that notification bell does matter. Anytime somebody your favorite YouTube has something going up, you'll be notified for it. So hey, I would appreciate if you do that because when that happens, then I won't have people saying oh, I didn't get. How come I didn't get my questions answered or I didn't see it because I get that a lot too. So trust me, the notification bells work. But anyway, guys, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Um, there are a lot of things that are going to come on the channel. I promise, Tack, because you answered, I do promise to start streaming or filming gameplay again. Gameplay for video games again. Like I said, I do like people enjoy me doing um, Overwatch. I like streaming Overwatch. I love playing that game. Uh, and I have it for both systems, so I could do it on any system you want me to do it on. Um, but yeah, I will. There are a few games that I do play in the stream that I bought basically almost exclusively to stream, and they're mostly like storytelling games. So yeah. But other than that, guys, you guys take care. I'll see you guys next time. As always, deuces.